Okay, so here we go. This is NPV Part 2 video. So here's where I left off. So let's move on. So now, once I know the NPV, the net present value, by calculating, taking the present value of the benefits and what I just showed you, minus the amount of money I'm sticking into it now. If my NPV is positive, I should make the investment. That means that I'm going to actually get back more than I'm actually investing. However, if it's negative, you should not do it, because if it's negative, what it's telling you is that what you're going to get back today is less than what you're putting in. The nice thing about the NPV, this is one of the most popular capital budgeting. It's got two primary advantages. So I look at future cash flows that are going to be paid. So it actually looks at how much I'm going to get back in the future. And interest rates are determined by weighted average cost of capital. And that's real important to know. So mostly I look at future cash flows. Payback period, the first one we talked about, does not look at future cash flows. Once I get the amount of money back I invested in payback, I stop looking after that. So let's take a look at this chart for NPV. So it looks like, let's see here, cash flow. Okay, so this is actually, okay, this is kind of confusing, guys, okay? So the benefits is, this is the cash flow. I'm going to get $10,000 per year. I'm going to buy an automobile. It's going to increase my cash flow $10,000 per year. Present value at, okay, hold on, PVAV, I think that's present value of annuity, okay, 10%. So this goes back to my present value chart, and this would be the multiplier. I'd multiply this times 10,000, and this would be for I believe for 5 years. Yeah, for 5 years. So that 10,000 times this multiplier. So if you look back at my time value money chart, present value of annuity, you're going to find this multiplier, 10%, 5 years. So the present value would be this much money. Okay. If I was doing it at 14%, here would be my multiplier. So this just gives you different percent values. Okay, now salvage value. At the end of the 5 years, I can sell the vehicle for $4,000. So in this case, I'm going to be looking at what is that $4,000 worth to me now. So this is 10% at 5 years. I'm sorry. This is a different chart, actually, guys. I don't mean to confuse you, but this is the future value. The future value, because I'm going to get 4,000 in the future. That's what that is. And so so when I add this together, you know what, I think I'm wrong on this one. And I don't mean to sound decisive. I get a little confused myself. I can sell it for $4,000 at the end of 5 years. So if my present value, that 4,000 I'm going to get in 5, today it's only worth $2,483 at 10%. Here's what it's worth at 14%. So these are the benefits. This is the PVP at 10% and at 14%. Now let's look at how much I'm going to pay. It cost me $20,000. And so the present value of $20,000 is $20,000 because it has nothing to do with the chart. I've got to put $20,000 out of my pocket today. It's going to cost me $100 per month for insurance. And so what I'm going to actually do is look at the present value of an annuity at 10%. And I'm not sure if they're calculating annual or they're calculating this at monthly. And so there's a multiplier. So over 5 years at 10%, it's going to cost me $38,983.04. So this is my NPV is this minus this. If it's positive, I should do it at this 10%. But when I look at 14%, I'm not positive. Here's what I'm going to get, the benefit in the future minus the cost I'm putting out now, it's negative. So I actually should not do this. So this wraps up the NPV part 2. On the next video, we'll be looking at profitability index from here on in.